All right, I'm gonna talk about something that needs to be talked about. When you are ugly, you have an advantage, okay? We ugly people, we need to stop talking about pretty privilege in all of its privileges. We need to recognize the two good things about being ugly, okay? Because you're never going to be pretty. Like even if you get plastic surgery, at the end of the day, you grew up ugly. And you will grow up differently because you grew up ugly. Because at the end of the day, nobody wanted to be friends with the ugly girl. Okay? Nobody wanted to be friends with the ugly girl. The ugly boys, they could make friends as long as they were funny. The ugly girl, we couldn't make friends. So we appreciate friendship on a different level. Because, like, especially if you're a weird, ugly girl, then you even more appreciate friendship. Because, like, you recognize, like, what it means to have friends. You know what I mean? Some people, like, they've had friends their whole lives and they don't appreciate their friends, like, at all. Like, you know what I mean? They just consider friends the standard. But us people, us ugly people who grew up as social outcasts because we were ugly and weird, we grew up differently. When people treated us like their favorite person in the room, that meant something. We were so appreciative. But if you were always the favorite person in the room, the prettiest girl in the room, you're always going to hold yourself to that standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you grow up ugly, your life will be different. Your life will be different, you know? And even if you're still ugly, that's okay, because I feel like there's this thing, like there's this push to think you're hot. Like, you gotta be like, I look like Kim K. I'm the baddest bitch. I'm curvy and beautiful. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I know they say beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but beauty is also in the eye of society. And I'm not stupid. I know that I'm not Nicki Minaj. I know I'm not Kim Kardashian, but I do know that I'm me. And know what that means to be me? It's to accept that I'm ugly. It's to accept that less dudes want to jerk off to me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like beauty standards are dumb because it's really just how many people want to jerk off to you. How many people cry themselves to sleep wanting to look like you. Like, I really don't want people to cry themselves to sleep wanting to look like me. You know what I mean? I don't want people to feel that way. And I appreciate this outlook I have on life. And I feel like pretty girls, like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about their privilege because they don't have privilege. It's a myth. Even though the halo effect is a real study. But anyways, I'm going to get canceled for this one. I'm not apologizing for this one. There's no apology video coming from this video. For my 10 million subscribers, okay? If this is the reason I'm canceled, then it is the reason that I am canceled. And I am so okay. My ass is too fat. If it's the reason I'm canceled, then that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And also, you don't have to have a big badonkadonk. I feel like there's a push to have a big butt nowadays. And a lot of people want to twerk. And they can't twerk because they can't twerk. They think they can't twerk because their butt's not big. And you don't gotta have Kim Kardashian's ass, okay? And, like, I figured out from a young age back in 2013, like, how toxic the internet was. And by the time I was in high school, I deleted all forms of social media except for YouTube. Because YouTube taught me a lot. Shout out to Lacey Green for being my sexual ed teacher. Shout out to Onision for teaching me what a predator is. Shout out to, let's see, how many shout outs? Shout out to Trisha Paytas for making me know that even if I'm fat, I can be great. Thank you, Trisha, for making every little fat girl know that even though she's fat, she can have a life. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's like, we gotta cancel Trish. But I'm sorry, like, I'll never stop watching Trisha Paytas. I am really sorry. Because at the end of the day, like, she really is the reason that I'm still, like, alive and don't hate myself. Because she was the first girl to teach me, like, you can be beautiful. You can have a life. You can do everything that the skinny girl does. It's okay. Because you're gonna do it. And Trisha was so right. And she grew up fat in a time where, like, even she wasn't even considered fat by today's standards. You know what I'm saying? Like, the body she had when she was considered fat is like not even like a fat body nowadays. And that's one thing I also learned is I used to get bullied for my thick eyebrows, and then all the girls started drawing them on super thick. And I was like, okay, well, beauty standards are dumb then, because if you're going to change your mind about what's real and what's not, then that's stupid. It really is stupid. So, yeah, at the end of the day, accept that you're ugly. Accept that you're fat. You don't gotta be calling yourself curvy. You don't gotta be calling yourself beautiful. You don't gotta pretend. You don't gotta act like you look like this and that celebrity. You don't gotta do that. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is recognize that your worth is not based in your beauty. Like, you gotta understand that your worth is not based in how you look. Your worth is based in who you are as a person. Your worth is based on what everything else but that. Your worth is subjective, but I think so many people, they place their worth on their appearance. So when they feel ugly, they want to change that, and they say, I'm so suicidal, I'm depressed because I look like this. It's because you're basing your worth on your physical appearance. And it takes years and years of practice and understanding of what I'm trying to say to really get that. You know, now that I'm like 19 going on 20, like, I don't ever sit down and think, gee, I'm fat, gee, I'm ugly. Like, I really don't. And I used to hate myself every single day throughout my life. And that's when I realized my worth isn't based on my beauty. You know, because, like, the beauty standards could change tomorrow and I could be the most beautiful girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, your worth is so much more. Your worth is so much more than the shape of your face, your nose, your lips, your eyes, your eyebrows, your hair, your skin, your nails. It's so much more than that, you know? Like, your worth isn't based on how many people want to fuck you, okay? Personally, my worth, like the way I base my worth in, is how not hypocritical of a person I am, how reasonable of a person I am, how much I can do for myself and for others, and what I can do to change the world. You know, like, I base my worth in the inside, not the outside, you know? And, like, I feel like a lot of girls, like, I'm not a smart girl, and I feel like a lot of girls that also aren't smart, they're like, well, I can't base who I am in my intelligence now. I can only base it on my beauty. You know, like, if you're a sociable person, then that's really good. Like, if you're an interpersonal person and you understand people's emotions, that is so cool. Like, I don't have that skill and I hate it. But if you have that skill, like, that's something to be so proud of. Like, so many people don't have that ability. They can't keep a conversation. They're bad at meeting new people. And if you can do that, like, that's so cool. Like, even if you aren't smart, or even if, you know, you're not really that emotionally intelligent, like, being able to be, like, this is what I mean by your worth is not based on your beauty or even your high school graduate's degree or your college degree, you know? Like, I dropped out and I felt such deep guilt for dropping out. Like, I felt like a horrible person. Like, man, like, I really gave up my education because I couldn't handle it. But that's when I realized my worth is personally not based in my intelligence or my beauty. My worth is really based on what I can give, what I can do, and, you know, how much I can do for people and myself. So, I encourage you all to delete Instagram right now and to get rid of social media, except for YouTube and books. I really recommend reading. I really recommend drawing. I really recommend yoga. I really recommend meditation. I really recommend stretching. I really recommend going out in nature. I really recommend going to the beach. I really recommend seeing a friend. COVID safely, of course. Vaccine. Oh, my sticker fell off. I just got vaccinated. Get your vaccine. You know, be safe. Learn something new.